I trusted the calling within me to go out and be alone for a while. That's what I came out here for. To be alone. The funny thing is, it's been a few days of that. Aside from, other prospective hikers or kayakers in the river that go by here and there. And it's funny how coming out and being alone makes someone start to miss their friends, their family, and loved ones. And if I went back, let me readjust this. I'd tell him to stop barking, but he wouldn't listen, so what's the point? If I went back, I would want to be alone again. It's an interesting condition that humans face. It's too hot over here, it's too cold over there. But I find myself here in this space. Really accessing, if that's the right word for it, I don't know. Really accessing what it is that has a lot to do with my purpose, you might say. So I'm getting a lot of work, quotes, work done out here. This time I'm spending alone. It's something about being human. We want to share it, Check out, if I move out of the way like this, check out these kayakers coming down. We're all on this path. What path? Our path. Sometimes people say take the higher path. Don't take the lower path. Take the middle path. But I say, this is just my opinion. My opinion is there is no higher path. There is no lower path. What are you talking about, middle path? There's your path, and then there's you walking someone else's path, trying to wear someone else's shoes, someone else's outfit, trying to be what you think you're supposed to be by following, There's many other people who have come before us and have lived here on this planet and have reached their fulfillment, have realized it is a better way of saying it. Many have. And the human population gets confused every single time and starts thinking that we're supposed to copy and act like them and try to do exactly what they did. But one of the things I noticed that these people have in common is that they trusted their own path. They didn't try to be like anybody else. They listened to what was going on within them. And they lived from that place. Middle path. What middle path? What higher path? You're either living your true life, being who you really are, and trusting that flow, and that's your surrender to the divine, right? Or you're resisting by trying to be something or be someone else. So I trusted what's been spoken within me lately to leave my home and my friends and my family and my loved ones and basically leave behind everything that makes me feel safe and comfortable, and come out here to a place that has no tethers at all. And the emptiness in me is growing, which is a strange thing to say. How can emptiness become more empty? But it is. At least it feels that way. I'm becoming more and more empty every moment out here. I'm just spending a lot of time just sitting here, not necessarily this exact spot. I thought this was a good spot with the lighting and to make a video real quick. But just sitting and breathing and I just keep becoming more empty. And that's when I notice the part of me that's like, I want to go home. I want to go back to being Nathan. I want to go back to the stories that make me feel safe and comfortable, and my routines and the people that I know that make me feel real and like I am someone who matters. Out here, it's like you face these parts of yourself when you really step away from your comfort zone. You face these parts of yourself that I'm beginning to realize that a lot of the things that this part of me is crying out, it wants it back. I don't have like movies or TV or like anything out here, and there's no phone service at all. I notice that those things that some part of me wants to reach for, it's the fact that I've been reaching for those things and using those things for the last 28 years of my life that have kept me from coming into contact with what was within me that I've always been looking for. It's strange. It's the kind of thing that's hard to put into words. But that's okay. Because maybe you feel it too. Maybe you've trusted the inner calling within you at some point in your life and gone out and experienced growth because of it. But the part of us that wants to turn back, I'm not listening to that part of me anymore. It doesn't mean that I don't see the value in the lesson of, oh, I can appreciate my friends and my family and loved ones more. Yeah, I appreciate that. But I also see the disguise of the falseness in me, and it's wearing that outfit. And it's trying to masquerade as the reason I came out here is to realize that actually I want to go back. But I've seen this falseness play out in me many times before. I don't really want to go back. I'm just afraid to fully enter the emptiness within me and let myself fully dissolve and disappear into the moment. It's terrifying. And my mind is very good at coming up with all sorts of stories and lessons, or, just walk the middle path. Whatever that even means. No offense to anybody that honors the middle path, because that may be part of your authentic path. So I don't mean any disrespect. The truth is, I've had a lot of people in my life tell me that I should be different and use the middle path as an example as to how I should be different. So that's why when I talk about it, I might seem a little bit sassy about it. It's not any disrespect to anybody who honors the middle path and lives from that place. I just don't see a middle path. I see me right here, right now in this moment, and I see the me that I'm seeing dissolve and disappear into nothingness. There's no one out here to witness me. There's nothing pulling at me to be anything. And there are these absolutely terrifying moments but I just choose to keep sitting with them, if that makes sense. Why? Not because I think it's going to reach something or lead me somewhere. Why? Not because I heard some other teacher somewhere say that's what I should do. Why? Because that's what the presence within me, beyond the self, beyond the identity, beyond the story, the presence in me is like, it's time. This is what we're doing right now. Just because, it's just who I am. No end goal, no end result. I watch my mind weave webs of some fantastic end result. Oh, when I'm so enlightened, it'll be so amazing. And you start imagining it'll feel like this and it'll look like this. And it's funny because you see these parts go by and you just let those go too. Who is there even to be enlightened when there is no me to begin with? I have, this is probably a very interesting video. This is what happens when Nathan doesn't talk to anyone for days and hasn't moved from the spot he sits in. I did find these really cool rocks that I really like a lot. I think these are like really cool. This one is like really smooth. And like, check this out. They're not quartz. Well, maybe they are. You know, I'm not a geologist, but I'm pretty sure they're not quartz. But I gathered some as I was walking. I really like the presence of them. What's next? Well, it doesn't really matter anymore what's next, or even what happened yesterday, or even 30 seconds ago. It's interesting to live this way, where each moment is new and fresh and free from the one that came before it. And it's not something that can be explained or understood in the mind, or that I would even want to say what it's like, because then your mind would just think you had figured it out for yourself, but you would have missed it because it's not something you figure out. It's like if I were making a YouTube video, which I suppose I am. I don't know what I'm doing right now, honestly. I think I'll probably post this just because it's interesting and different. What will I title it? I don't know. But this is how I would explain it, and don't attach to the explanation. It's the way my consciousness is operating now, and it's very interesting, and I've never experienced this before in my life, especially not to the extent, but it's been growing more and more each day that I'm out here. So normally, if you think about it, you're making a video. You start, and then there's the end, and then there's everything in the middle that leads to the next thing. And while you'd be speaking, you'd be thinking as you're making the video, right? I said this, I'm leading the viewer somewhere, I'm leading them to this end goal, this end result. But as far as it is for my reality right now, that's not what is happening. There's no start and there's no finish. And there's not even an in-between. It's like this moment right here that I'm saying, this word, it's a brand new video. It wasn't born of what I said 30 seconds ago. We didn't get to this point that I am right here, right now, saying this word to you in this exact moment from me, what I said a few sentences ago. It's brand new. It's like every single moment I'm re-pushing record, starting over. There's nothing that led to this. And this isn't leading anywhere. It just is. I don't know how to explain it, but it honestly feels pretty fucking awesome. It's pretty incredible, actually. You know, I did a lot of psychedelics years ago. It's been a long time, and I just want to say plainly, I'm not recommending those sorts of things to people, and I'm not saying they're bad either. You know, do your own research, but I did a lot of stuff like that back in the day and like the beginning of my seeking. And it's really interesting because this is it's just kind of funny because like if I could like say to myself like 10 years ago, high school Nathan, hey, you know, you don't actually like have to take acid or mushrooms or any of that stuff. Like you can just sit in the same place and like breathe and watch all the falseness just keep going by without attaching to it, and you'll be in a state that is so beyond what the acid and the mushrooms have ever gave you. I'd say that the work, the spiritual work that I've done in my life is definitely worth it, because I have there's a greater depth and fullness to life. As in, imagine if you could only see, like if you were colorblind and you could only see one set of colors, and then all of a sudden it expanded and you could see that same set of colors, but now you, in addition, could see 20 colors in addition to that. Or if you had some issues with your taste buds, so you could only taste salty things, but then all of a sudden, just overnight, it was healed or something, and now you could taste salty, sweet, sour. That's kind of, it's kind of what it's like. There's more sounds, more flavors, more smells, more sights, but it's also not senses. It's not in the senses. It's not the senses. It's, I just don't know how to explain it to you. If it was a sense, I would say it's a spiritual sense. There's more, infinite more, than the normal thing that we normally experience. Which for most people, and I know this is for most people because this is what my life used to be like, and I was part of that herd, you know. For most people, the only thing you ever experience is yourself. You're constantly thinking about yourself. You're constantly trying to get somewhere, do something, accomplish something, thinking about what so-and-so thinks about you, or once I get this, or or now I need to do that, or I feel cold right now, or I feel hot, or I'm hungry, now I'm full, you know, I'm horny, now I'm not. It's like people's lives are all about themselves. This sounds really mean what I'm saying, but I do not mean it in a mean way. I don't know why this video is happening right now, especially in the way that it is. Do you guys like a video like this here and there, where there's no point? It's just a moment expressing itself? I'd be interested to hear from you. Truly, because this is I don't even know what we're talking about. And yet the voice of the moment continues to speak. It's pretty cool. But most people, their entire lives is just self-absorption. It's all about themselves all the time. Even if they're thinking about other people, how can I help others? It's still absorption with the self. How can I, me, help others? How can I, me, be a solution? So even the state that people step into that's a quote-unquote higher state of now I'm thinking about others and I'm giving to others, it's still self-absorption in disguise. So most people, their life is self-absorption continuously over and over and over again. But when you step out of that self-absorption where you're no longer thinking about yourself, and there's no one even here in this moment relating to things, this means that, this means this, it's all still self-absorption. When that part of you has dissolved, which is exactly what is happening to me right now in my life. The self still comes in. Just full authenticity here. It still comes in these moments. But the more I'm just here, it happens less and less. And when it comes, it instantly dissolves in, because I don't know why. I don't know. It just is, I guess. It's my evolution. I don't know. But when that self-absorption leaves, there's no one in this moment even trying to relate to or understand anything or time things, or there's no end goal. There's not even a starting point. Everything is just like, whoa. Whoa. There's so much more to life than just being absorbed in yourself. It's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I'm out here and all of this is happening, and I know that there's still self left. There's still self left. I'm not fully dissolved into the moment. Why? Because there's still a part of me saying, I'm not fully dissolved into the moment. There's still a part of me that's relating. There's still it's hard to explain, but I don't have to. It's okay. But I know that my self is still here because I want to share. I want to tell all my friends and family about this, I want to tell everybody, hey, you wouldn't believe what is beyond yourself when you finally let go of who you think you are. You wouldn't believe me. But God, I wish you could taste it too. It's really a good flavor, But it's also kind of a hard path, to be honest, the path that I'm walking, because well, never mind. I know someone's out there that will understand. It's like, imagine you can see like 1,000 colors and everybody around you is only seeing like 2 or 3. You're like, oh, guys, these colors, wow. But it's like kind of isolating in a sense, That's okay. I really like this smooth one. I really like this smooth one a lot. It's so smooth. Well, I must say I've really enjoyed sharing these moments with you. This has been truly a beautiful experience. And I do hope that you enjoyed it as well. Much love, and see you in the next video.